Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder, joined, as always, by Eddie Color Changing V.
Enemy Zero.
Galf. Galfing it up.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later. So, before we jump in, a couple tidbits of housekeeping. As always, you can find us at our home on shoutengine.com. iTunes, Google Play Music. Remember, hit the subscribe button, drop us in your RSS feed, leave those reviews and those ratings. Those are always appreciated. Additional piece of housekeeping. With schedules starting to finally situate, we're looking to move the show for permanently to recording Wednesday nights and having it going up on Fridays going forward. So you can look forward to something to start your weekend off with us. So that's the little tidbit of housekeeping. Actually, the one other would be that there were intentions of doing a Warp World episode to cover last week's Nintendo Direct, but we'll probably just hit the highlights tonight, and we'll call it a day. Things should start to normalize here going into next month, but for right now, that's kind of where we're stuck at the moment. Plus, now the Nintendo Online is actually up and running. We can actually talk about that a little bit. But before we do any of that bullshit, Eddie, the fuck have you been playing?
So, played some more Dead Cells on Switch. Still trying to get to that first boss. Dude, I almost had him. I literally almost had him.
How are you not making it through the concierge?
My loadout is I have a planned loadout that I need to like get and stuff, but I keep messing up on the patterns. Like my reactions just keep messing up. Like I'm jumping over the fire, but then when he jumps and stuff, I keep forgetting like I need to roll over him stuff. Something just in my brain just not like ass sometimes. So
I want to watch you like take a swing at him sometime, just so I can see what the fuck you're doing.
I'll get to him. Don't worry, I'll get past him. I hope. I think
3 years later, Eddie will finally make it through a full run and get a boss cell.
Pretty much. I've done something like that before for a game. Like, oh, I started this game 3 years ago. Oh, I'm still on the first level. I think I should finish this.
Probably.
So, I haven't really played anything on PS4, because I picked up Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I put more focus into that. I don't know what portion I'm at. Right now it says I have like 28% of the game done. So I'm getting further into that game. I'm enjoying it. It's not as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider, so to speak, but I am enjoying doing my stealth kills and sorry about that. Hitting them with my bow and arrow and stuff like that. The gunplay is kind of questionable. It feels too loose. I don't know why it doesn't feel that well. But I am enjoying this. I am enjoying it. Last but not least, started up Quantum Break. Got through the first act. I'm on Act 2 right now, and watched the TV series that they show. This game is so good, and Remedy does not get the praise that they should have for this game. It really is good. It may be, to me personally, if I had to do a number, it's pretty much like a 9.5 at this point for me. Like, this is like a 5 out of 5 Yoshi coin. The production is great. Like, I would watch this if it was a TV series. And there is some minor things, but like the gunplay feels good, like the fights and stuff. The environments look well. I'm very intrigued by the story. I can't wait to play more. But I'm loving Quantum Break. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. I am going to be getting back into some more Switch games. I am going to be picking up, probably by the time you guys hear this, I'll have the Nintendo Online. I'll have it as a paid service by then. I didn't want to do the free one because I wanted to wait till I buy it. And I'll probably get into something for PS4 related probably next month.
Be glad you didn't do the free one, and I'll tell you why later.
Yeah, I haven't did I didn't pick up Spider-Man because I preferred to get Shadow over it. So if I don't get Spider-Man like this month, I'll definitely get it next month. There's a lot of stuff that I'm willing to pick up. There's a lot of Nintendo Switch stuff that I need to get. That's like really on my radar that I need to pick up. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. Oh, and Forza Horizon 4, the beta. Actually, yeah, I played the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout beta. That was very fun. Looking for really, really good. Battlefield 5 beta, I enjoy. I'm looking for the single player in that. The gunplay feels so good in that game. And Forza Horizon 4, I'm loving the drive-in. This is another game that I'll be getting next month. Hopefully I can get it day and date. If not, I'll probably get it that Friday. But like really enjoying that game. Oh, actually Thursday. I know it comes out on the 2nd. I wonder if the 2nd is a Friday. I'll have to see. But really enjoyed that beta too. So yeah, but that's what I've been playing. What about you, Larry?
So
Oh,
I've been playing this. Oh, go ahead.
one more. Sorry. Charged up my 2DS and started back up Yokai Watch. Yokai Watch 2. I think it's Fleshy Bones. I think that's the version that I got. Yeah, but I started up playing on my 2DS. And started playing that again, and probably gonna be popping back in Fire Emblem because I have a need that I need to get through that game too. Oh, but you go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry, that just popped in my mind.
I just want to say, first of all, the way you pronounce it, it sounds like you said fleshy balls, and sorry, episode title right there.
It probably was. I probably did say Fleshy Balls. So yeah.
Now between the two of us, we've said it at least 3 times.
Well, you know me when it comes to, well, yeah,
Eddie loves his fleshy balls.
I do.
Anyways, so I've been playing this awful fucking game called 65 Hour Workweek.
Ooh.
I give it a 0 out of 10 rating.
I thought it was an HD remaster.
No, this is a new release. It's well, I'm not even going to talk about the company that made it, but let's just say it's got a lot of fucking shortcomings. And, but in between, I've been dinking with a little bit of Dead Cells. Not much of it this week, honestly. Most of this week, my focus was on plowing through more of my second run of Hollow Knight, so I can get that wrapped up for NVC Video Game Book Club. Which, if you guys aren't in there yet, you totally fucking should be, because it's awesome. We'll plug more of that at the end of the show. The other thing too is that I'm gonna have to pack up my Switch and send it off for some repair here in the next couple of days. So I kind of wanted to wrap that up before I send it on its way. In any case, I did get to dink around. I kind of threw it back a little bit today with some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Nice.
I had a friend that was having a very, very, very bad day, and so I brought it over, and we sat around and we played some Mario Kart 8 for a little while, and made her feel better. It's just such a fucking bright, cheerful game. You can't be fucking sad when you're playing Mario Kart. It's just not fucking possible. You can get angry and pissed off, because I've done that enough with Mario Kart Fridays with a Nintendo voice chat forums group, because fuck that bullshit. Jesus God. That's like the worst thing ever. And I love the group, I do, but God damn it, playing Mario Kart Fridays with them is just a fucking awful experience. So yeah, that's my tragically short. Oh, no. I take it back. I did actually, I started to crack on the Mega Man 11 demo a little bit, actually.
Ah.
I didn't think the checkpointing was that bad.
You played it on normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my personal take. That being said, I keep floating somewhere between, I really don't mind the art style, to it's just plain. And I can't decide where I land on it yet. And I think I'm not going to be able to make a final judgment call until I see like the art design applied to the rest of the stages. But it's not the worst thing. If the worst thing I can say about it is it just feels plain,
Mm-hmm.
at least it's not fucking awful. We've seen fucking awful before, and this isn't it. You know, I mean, fuck, an average Mega Man game is still better than most.
Very true.
So, you know, I'll take that for what it is. But I will say, gameplay-wise, it felt solid. I had a lot of fucking fun with it. Um, it took me a few minutes to get my head around the gear system, and it was so weird to me having like two fucking powers right out of the gate. I'm like, why do I have powers? I didn't kill anybody yet. It was fucking weird. Like, now I'm just curious if you actually start the game with those two powers, or if they actually do come from some of the new Robot Masters.
They come from the new Robot Masters.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm starting the game with powers, and somebody forgot how to make a fucking Mega Man game. I mean, I know it's fucking been a while, but goddamn. So it felt weird to me. I'm like, no.
Well, I
So,
think this is the first Mega Man game ever to get a demo. So
I think so, because the last one was 10, and that was back on the Wii.
Yeah,
So,
and that was just a full game.
mm-hmm. As was 9.
Yeah.
So, which, man, I really fucking liked 9.
9 is cool. I think I like 10 better. I like some of the bosses, and I like the music better in 10 over 9.
I really liked Splash Woman's stage, though.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was fun. That one just stands out to me. Like, you know, there are some games where it's just like, I know there are better games in that series, but this game is my favorite because it just has this one fucking stage. The case in point with like Mega Man 9.
Uh-huh.
You know, 9 has Splash Woman stage, and I fucking love playing that stage. It's a ton of fun to me, and it stands out. I know there are better, you know, like 10 is technically a better game, but 9 is my go-to because I like to play that stage.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like the old Sonic games. You know, I know that like Sonic and Knuckles was a better game, but Sonic 2 is still my favorite one to replay.
Oh, yes.
Because it has fucking Chemical Plant Zone.
I agree with you 100%. Sonic 2 is
Now, all that goes out the fucking window when you throw in Sonic Mania, but before that...
Shoot, I think Sonic 2 is the best Sonic game of all time in the whole series.
I don't think it was the best game, but damn it, it had the best stage.
Shoot, it had the best
I like
music.
Sonic and Knuckles better. As a game, structurally, I think fundamentally, Sonic and Knuckles is a better game.
I'd have to...
You can disagree all you want, I'm just saying.
No, I think because...
Because, dude, I fucking loved Knuckles. Knuckles changed the way that you played through a stage fundamentally to where you got two wholly different experiences, whether you're playing as Sonic or Knuckles. So you essentially got double the game.
I think for me, I incorporated the level design of Sonic 2, the bonus stage. Like, I had fun with that, and partly because I haven't beat Sonic and Knuckles, because it wasn't available in my area. Like, my brother, he stopped playing the Sega Genesis, and I couldn't buy no games for the system. You know, there was a rule against for that. I don't know why. So
and that's to say nothing of the special feature of Sonic and Knuckles. The stackable cartridge, dude.
Well, yeah.
You could introduce Knuckles into every other fucking Sonic game. That's awesome.
But but just going from by game without the special features, I think because I played Sonic 2 more than I played Sonic 3, or Sonic and Knuckles, I think 2 just has more weight for me personally.
So. No, and I can see that from I'm removing my personal viewpoint and saying structurally, on a technical level, Sonic and Knuckles is a better game but I still prefer to go back to Sonic 2. So that's, that preference is where my personal opinion comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I can still look at it objectively, at least as objective as you can get on something as subjective as video games / art. But, like I said, I think on a technical level, Sonic and Knuckles was the better game. It's just not my favorite to replay. So,
Gotcha.
but that again, kind of touches on something that I think maybe in the next month we'll probably be doing a 2-part deep dive on. But in any case, but no, I like Mega Man 11. The gear system I'm still trying to get my head around because I swear to God, it said somewhere that I could combine both of them at the same fucking time, but apparently I'm just not doing something right because all I can do is switch between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I can't activate them both at once, and I don't know what the fuck to do. I'll screw with it more probably tomorrow, truth be told, but
Yeah, I need to learn that system. I wasn't using it a lot, so I was just
yeah.
like,
Like I noticed a couple places where you had to use the speed gear, but really other than that, and it's something too that maybe it's more essential in some of the other stages.
uh,
So I don't know. I'm curious to see how intelligent of a vertical slice just that one stage with Blockman was, or if one of the other stages would have been a better choice for the demo.
yeah.
That's actually kind of piqued my interest now that I'm thinking about it out loud. But in any case, yeah, that's mostly where I've been at.
I mean, yeah, Mega Man, I'm still going to get like so.
But yeah, that's so I want to touch on a little bit of news here before the break since what we've been playing is a little on the short side because I want to go kind of deep dive on what you and I were rambling about. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Uh,
Whatever.
I think so. Yeah, I think I called you
Yeah.
yesterday about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll deep dive on that after the break because I really actually I want to have that conversation with you. But in any case, so biggest news is obviously the Nintendo Direct that happened last week, the day after we recorded last week's episode, with the delightful Topher Cantler and his stack of pancakes. Obviously the big highlights coming out of that are we got the full reveal of Nintendo Switch Online, which I don't know what was left to reveal. Apparently, fucking nothing other than not even the date at that point. We had a date.
I think the special offers one was like a new point because they never talked
It
about
was,
it.
but it wasn't a great one, and they didn't convey it well either. Because really, nowhere in that direct did they say, "Hey, these things are a special offer that you can only get if you subscribe," in reference to the NES Joy-Con controllers for the Switch. So that's, which brings me to something else too, by the way. If any of you are listening and you have not yet purchased your Nintendo Switch Online membership yet, and you have intentions of getting those NES controllers, do not take the 7-day free trial. It is an either or option. If you take that 7-day free trial, you are excluded from the ability to order those NES controllers.
Wow.
Yeah. It's buried in the fucking fine print, but it's an either or, dude. No shit.
Wow.
So, if you haven't already, this is your warning. And if you have already, sorry. But in any case, I dinked with with a couple of the NES games, and it's. I've heard a couple people talk about some issues in terms of sound with the emulation,
Uh-huh.
but it's nothing that isn't new. Because apparently the NES Mini and the SNES Mini all have the same fucking problems. It only, I've been told it only really crops up when when you've got it hooked up to something like a sound bar, basically.
Yeah.
At which point the sound will sporadically cut in and out, and it's something to do with the way the emulation was done. But in any case, the other thing too that really kind of fucking irked me was that I can't reassign the fucking buttons.
Oh yeah.
That annoys the shit out of me.
I read it online.
Like, dude, playing Mario 3 didn't fucking feel right. Like, I was actively bad at it because the way the buttons were laid out, it strictly sticks to the BA,
Uh-huh.
and I can't assign the A over to the Y button.
So you gotta play
Like,
it old school.
yeah, like, my thumb wants to lean into the controller, not away from it for that button. And so every time I go to jump, my thumb is naturally reaching in rather than pulling out to the edge of that controller. And it's driving me up a wall because there's nothing assigned to that. It's literally a blank fucking button. They're all NES games. For God's sakes, why did you not duplicate the... It's fucking... It's going to irritate the piss out of me. Maybe if I was playing with an actual NES controller, that'd be a little bit different.
Did
but
they say that you could use the Pro Controller for it?
I think so, but I don't know. But yeah, that kind of irritated the shit out of me. But other than that, I mean, we've now found out for certain that we are going to be seriously fucking drip fed new games for that service too.
But
3 games a month.
You wanna know what's really funny about all of this? That people complain so much about Nintendo Online, and then the day that it comes out, everybody's doing up videos of them having fun playing the Nintendo games. And it's just like, wait, didn't y'all have trouble with cloud saves? You was mad at the price and all of this other crazy stuff. Now y'all just ignore all of that and having fun? It is so weird with the internet some days.
I don't know. Speaking on cloud saves, I did go in and back up all of my shit that I could. There was, I think, only 2 games in my collection that I could not back up cloud save wise. I was really happy to find out because I had heard initially floating around that Dead Cells apparently was not going to support cloud save.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the fuck? Why? But I went in and sure as shit, the option was there. I'm like, yeah, back that bitch up. So, but in any case, so, I mean, the other 2 big ones that really stood out to me were, Splatoon 2 and Fortnite. Fortnite, I honestly don't feel like is that big of an issue.
Yeah.
Because Fortnite you can tie to your Epic account and everything should, in theory, carry. That's not that big of a deal. But the Splatoon 2 one feels like a bigger deal, and I understand why they're doing it, but yeah, there should be a better way. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't have the answer. But...
to me, it wouldn't even matter. Because it's just like, well, that's mostly if I'm playing the game for online matches and stuff. Like, even if I buy stuff, I'm just like, isn't the game cartridge just good enough?
Well, I mean, for me as an example, because I have to send my Switch off, I'd like to know that my Splatoon save data, but I don't have the option of cloud saving it. So, but yeah, that's a thing. We also got the surprise opening announcement. Luigi's Mansion 3 is in development for the Switch. Woohoo!
Yes.
Hot shit. All right. So I'm super excited. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm really excited to see that series getting some new fresh love. Um, Obviously, we really didn't see much of it. I mean, we saw more of it than we saw of Prime 4 over a year ago, but yeah, uh, we did get to see a little more of Damon X Machina, including a little bit on the story, which is now beginning to pique my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wish I had known more about it out of the gate with the E3 showing, but
I
um,
I think they just need to show that game. Just like, okay, this is a game that we're working on. This is the style. This is the look that we're going for. You know, trying to make it very action packed and just grab the attention from that. And I think, well, definitely for me, it grabbed my attention. And story stuff will come later. I'll just look at it
it grabbed
artistically.
my attention, but it didn't fucking tell me anything.
This is E3. How many games did that show outside of Nintendo didn't tell you anything?
Eh. But I mean, that's one though that when you're a new IP,
Mm-hmm.
you need to give somebody a fucking clue.
Tell that to
You
everybody
know,
else who does that. At least they showed you gameplay, or you know that you're going to be fighting something. You might not understand what the story is, but you understand that you're going to be fighting a robot and the stuff that you're going to be able to do. At least they gave you that.
it's something I suppose. I still think it should have been more, but that's just my nitpick. But we did get more in the most recent direct, so
Yes.
there's that at least. It was only a 3 month gap release, which in the grand scheme of things is not bad. With Nintendo's timetable, that's like a fucking eternity these days, though.
Yeah.
Um, what else did we get? Oh, well, there's the ending, of course, where they were totally like, "Hey, we're gonna give you some Animal Crossing news," and then they yanked it away, like, "Nah, we're just fucking with you. The only Animal Crossing news you get is Isabel's in Smash." So, of course they had to have another character reveal for Smash Ultimate.
See?
Um, and then they said, "Yeah, remember how we were assholes and we made you think that you were getting Animal Crossing?" And we said, "Nah, you're not getting Animal Crossing. We're really sorry about that. So for real this time,
No,
here's
it's
Animal Crossing."
no Nintendo. I think they have been working on it. It's all part of their marketing scheme. Like I said, at E3
Oh,
they
don't get me
focused on.
wrong. It was the perfect fucking troll move.
Well, it was the well, yeah. That end part like surprised me because they were just like stick around to see what some other stuff is going to happen, and once that and this is how weird it is. So when Isabel was talking about smashing and camping, they were highlighted in blue, but when
Oh yeah.
Tom Nook said smashing and camping, they was all white. So I was just like, okay, what else is they going to show? Because it could have been like an update to Pocket Camp that we didn't know. Nope, they just announced Animal Crossing, and the internet lost their mind. Like, people are happy that Isabella is in Smash, and it'll probably now sell more in Japan because I found out that like a lot of Japanese players like Isabella, and here in America, everybody loves Animal Crossing. So yeah, it worked out
Honestly,
to
I
be
would have
great.
been more excited if they were putting Tom Nook in Smash. I would have much rather had Tom Nook than Isabel.
It's a uh, I
Like Tom Nook in Smash would have actually gotten my wife excited.
no
Also,
would
speaking
not.
of Tom Nook and Smash, big fucking shout out to Adrian that posted that awesome bit on the forums page. Had the little screenshot of Tom Nook staring at his computer monitor.
Uh,
You can kind of see like the warm blue glow of the monitor on Tom Nook's face, and he totally did a smash splash for Tom Nook that said, "Tom Nook lost the kids in the divorce."
wow.
It was awesome. Oh, I fucking died laughing. Big fucking props to Adrian for that one. That shit got real dark real quick, but damn, it was good. So that made me happy. we're getting a downscale port of Kirby's Epic Yarn from the Wii to the 3DS, and I also just caught word today too that it is currently being listed as a new 3DS title only.
Yes.
So, interesting. I'm curious to see how that fares.
I, I I think a lot of people have traded in their old 3DS and got and upgraded to the new one because that's the most current system. So it wouldn't make sense to, I guess, be making that game just for regular 3DS.
I don't know, man. I still know a ton of people that are floating around with regular
Yeah,
3DSs.
and I'm not.
So that's an interesting split on the market.
It's
Granted, I mean the new hardware is becoming more and more reasonable, especially with the new 2DSs, XLs.
yeah,
That they've done some really nice color schemes and bundles on. But by the same token, going back to Kirby's Epic Yarn, I'm sitting there thinking that would look really pretty in 3D. Huh. So, um, what else was in there you want to highlight on, Eddie?
well, we got a lot of Final Fantasy games coming to
Oh
Switch.
God, we
Uh,
just got like half the Final Fantasy library announced.
yeah,
Which,
so
Jesus God.
we got Crystal Chronicles, Pocket Edition, World of Final Fantasy Maxima, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, Final Fantasy 12, 7, 9, and 10 all coming. And even though they are coming to Xbox One also, a lot of people are happy that some of the main series is coming to Switch. So there's going to probably, and plus, The World Ends With You going to be on there. The Square Enix is now showing a lot of support for Nintendo. So that's making a lot of people happy to finally go back to those games and, play a lot of them. Civilization 6, is a big thing. I'm not good at those games, but I kind of like um,
The idea.
the idea of that being on Switch. Like I said, I want to see Tropical. Oh, so I want to see that come to Switch. I've never played any of the Tropical series, but I heard it's really, really good. Starlink, they show a little bit more of that. Asmodee Digital is bringing Carcassonne, the Lord of the Rings card game, Pandemic, Catan Universe, and Munchkin. Um,
Munchkin, yeah.
Munchkin, yeah. I think I missed that.
Carcassonne I knew about. That
Yes.
got announced a while back. Most of the others I don't care about. One of the others though has grabbed my attention because they did say that like expansions were going to be like the board game expansions
Mm-hmm.
were going to be available as purchasable DLC. I'm a big fan of not only Carcassonne, like Carcassonne is a go-to board game in my household.
Yeah.
When we
I
have friends over,
I had fun playing with you last time I
oh
was over
fuck
there.
yeah, dude, Carcassone's awesome. Carcassonne is one that's easy to learn. It's quick, dirty. No game lasts more than like 35 minutes.
Yes.
And within like 3 turns, everybody fucking gets it. But Pandemic is another one that I love. I adore Pandemic, and I have a bitch of a time getting people together to actually play it because Pandemic is one that can really kind of draw out. You could be talking like an hour to 90 minutes for a full game of Pandemic. The other thing, though, this is where I'm really curious, is my favorite iteration of Pandemic is the Legacy version, which the Legacy version, and we're going to get board game nerdy here for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The Legacy version of Pandemic takes the original game as its foundation, and what it does is it creates a 1-year timeline, basically, where each game represents one calendar month, and you get 2 attempts to beat to win that month. For those unfamiliar, Pandemic is a cooperative board game where everyone's playing together against the board itself. But the thing is that dependent on what shakes out during each game of Pandemic Legacy, there are things that will permanently change in the game, including the board, the characters, rules, virus effects, all kinds of shit will actually permanently change from whatever point where that event happened forever. And so by the end of your calendar year in Pandemic Legacy, you have a 100% unique game that nobody else has to play off of. And it's really fucking cool, except it's kind of like, it's a one shot and done. If you wanted to do another run of that 1 year campaign, you would have to buy a completely new set again. And so I've always kind of rattled on the idea that somebody really should make Pandemic Legacy as a digital version where, you can work through a campaign, save the end result, so that way if you want to play that particular setup or that outcome, as just a one-off game, you can do that, or you can, I don't know, like pay $5 to get another save file to start from scratch on a new campaign again, which I think would be fucking brilliant.
I think they'll probably add it, but they'll probably
I
try to
hope
be.
so.
I think they'll try to probably be reasonable. I think that what they'll do is they'll probably make a DLC, charge like $10, so that you could just have that DLC, so you can play it as many times as you want to, and it just randomly changes and stuff. Like you don't have no control over it. It's just like once you start it, you play through that whole thing, and once you end it, that was it. And then maybe erase your save, and then it starts back from the beginning again, and you just do that run, but in a different way. And for $10, that would be good.
But I mean, I think a digital version of Legacy would be awesome, because a hard copy of Pandemic Legacy, like the actual board game, is kind of fucking salty. Like, I've seen more expensive, don't get me wrong. I own more expensive board games than that. But man, Pandemic Legacy is like $70, dude.
Ooh. Then yeah, $10 would be a good price for it.
Yeah.
Or
so
I say this. Bring up Pandemic, attach that all the DLC stuff like a season pass, and make it a $70 edition. You get the game, and then you get all the because I don't know how much expansions are for the actual board game.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do pricing wise with the DLC for those.
Yeah,
because I know Carcassonne has a ton of expansions available as well too. So, which that depending on how they price it, that could get real fucking expensive.
And if they do $10 expansion, I think that would be very reasonable. Like to me, that's DLC that's worth it, because
it depends on what's in the expansion, because some of them are fairly small, some of them are a little more mid-sized.
If it's small, I think if they still charge $10, they should put like maybe 3 of them together, like 3 packs if they're all small, and charge $10 for that.
Yeah.
But if it's like meaty, you get that 1 pack, then that's another $10 by itself. Because it's meaty.
The one board game that felt noticeably absent here, at least to me, was Settlers of Catan.
Oh, the Catan universe?
Yeah, I mean I don't know what they have planned for Catan, or if anything at this point, but I think for me, like, my favorites honestly are Carcassonne, Pandemic, and Catan. Like, those are my favorites to bust out. I've got others that do get some play from time to time, but those board game wise, those are it for me. Like, those are my staples.
What was the one game that we was talking about last time? With the zombie, or was it a card game? I think
I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Flux.
Yes.
Yeah, because we were talking about Baba Is You.
Yeah. I wonder if that could come. Amidiba Digital will bring that.
I could see it. It'd be interesting. I, you know, I also wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a digital iteration of Coup as well.
Ooh, I never
But
heard of that.
dude, Coup is super fucking cheap and it's totally awesome. Like, you need to go out to the store and buy yourself a copy
Hmm.
and go get a couple of fucking friends to play with.
Cool.
Um,
Is this KU or COO or?
COUP, Coup.
Oh, okay.
So, like, we're planning a coup.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I won't spoil it for you. Just know that you can get a copy for less than $15, and oh my god, it's so much fun with like three or more people. Fuck yes. Like, we have Christine and I have the standard edition of Coup,
Yeah.
and we fucking love it. We dropped cash because ThinkGeek had apparently a special edition on sale that introduced a new character. So instead of maxing out at 5 players, we can now max out at 6.
Oh, nice.
So I'm super excited. I will say I'm not real keen on the art on the new artwork in the special edition
Yeah.
compared to the original, but fuck it. More characters, more people, more game. Yeah. So I could justify that. That made me happy. And even then, the special edition I think was less than $20. So
Well,
uh,
the last one for me that I was looking forward to was Town by Game Freak. I like that art style, um, and I'm interested. It's one of their new IPs, so yeah, Town is what I'm looking forward to in the direct.
so I'm not gonna lie, Town just didn't move the fucking needle for me. Like, I'm excited to see Game
Mhm.
Freak do a new IP, but
It's
looking at it, it doesn't interest me. I'm like, good for you for not just doing more Pokemon,
mhm.
but
I think it's for
it's
people.
not that it's bad. It's just not for me.
I think it's for people who, when you look at it, you get vibes of Dark Cloud.
Yeah,
So it's probably one of those things. But I'm like, I love Game Freak. The artwork looks interesting, and I'm down to try something new from them.
right. So the last bit of news we're going to hit on before we hit the break here and then deep dive. Um, limited run games. Uh, fucking cool dudes that they are. They they announced the date where you can pre-order your copy of Golf Story physical edition for the Switch. Um, so the pre-orders are going live on Friday. I believe I've got to double check now. Um, hang on here, my Twitter escapes me. Uh, Friday the 28th at 10 a.m. Eastern, and in true limited run games fashion, there is a limited collector's edition of Golf Story for the Switch. Um, I really like the special edition, but I wholly acknowledge that honestly, the stuff that's in it is not that big of a draw to me.
Hmm.
Not like the Thumper one was.
Yes.
Um, so the limited edition is coming in at $80. Comes with a golf ball and golf tee set. Also comes with your Tidy Park Golf Club membership card. You get a 7.5 inch Well-Worn Grove Open Champion Trophy by Fangamer, and there's also a 11-inch by 17-inch, not golf, Galf poster. It is spelled GALF, Galf.
Wow.
Yeah, the poster totally looks like a promo poster for like an NES game of golf. It's kind of fucking awesome actually. But I'm totally jumping in and getting a hard copy of Golf Story because Golf Story is fucking awesome. I think this is going to be the first limited run games like collector's edition for anything that I'm interested in that I intentionally pass on. I think I just want the
Okay.
cartridge case. Yeah. The other stuff is cool. It doesn't grab me. It doesn't feel like it packs the wallop that the Thumper edition did, or even the Dust Elysian Tale one did, which that one I missed out on just because of timing. But I did get myself a standard edition copy of Dust.
Nice.
So, which I'm not thrilled about, but I can live with it. I'll be fine. The stuff in there was neat, but I don't. There wasn't anything in there essential. Like I didn't miss a steelbook case or anything like that. Which, speaking of steelbook cases, story time, real semi quick, and then we'll break. So today, I went to the store thinking I'm gonna go pre-order my special edition of Smash Brothers Ultimate, the $140 box with all the cool shit in it, right?
Yeah.
So I go to Best Buy and I'm like, excuse me, I would like to move my pre-order from the standard edition to the special edition. And they're like, we don't have that in our store to pre-order, but you can pre-order it on our website. So I pulled out my smarty phone, pulled up their website, and clicked on it, and their website says, you can't pre-order this online, but you can go to the store and pre-order it. I'm just like, fuck both of you. So I go down the street to my local Game Flop, and they inform me that I cannot pre-order this game in their store either. So I goes to their website, and I pre-order my copy because this is like the least ideal way for me to get it. Because with Best Buy, I get 20% off my fucking games. And on a $140 game, that's a fucking lot.
Mm-hmm.
But with GameStop, I at least have like some certificates banked with my my Power Up Rewards card bullshit.
Yeah.
Except I can't use them to go towards the price of my fucking online pre-order. So, and this gets better. First off, they don't offer a ship-to-store location option for the shipping on it. So bare minimum, it's going to run me like an extra $9 for fucking shipping. And that's for getting it like 8 to 14 days after release.
Whoa.
If I wanted it on launch day, I'd be paying $30 to $40 extra for shipping. Fucking horseshit. Second, I do plan on gaming their system as an extra fuck you though. So when my copy actually does arrive a week and a half late, thanks a fucking lot, my intention is to take it into my local store, return it, and then repurchase it with my fucking gift cards. So that I get some of that cash back. So GameStop can suck it.
Why do I have a feeling that I was just walking to Target and they'll actually have it in a case, you know.
Plus, on top of that, too, not only do I miss out on like the 20% discount from Best Buy,
Mm-hmm.
Best Buy also has the Smash coin that they're giving away, and Smash Brothers Ultimate is one of their $10 gift certificate eligible pre-order titles. I'd really like to get my fucking $10, please. But in any case, so yeah, that was my harrowing tale of trying to fucking pre-order Smash today.
Well, at least you didn't have the trouble like me trying to get Shadow the Tomb Raider from Target. How the heck does a company send a game to a store, give them 6 copies of the PlayStation 4 version, 1 copy of the Xbox version, put them out on a Wednesday when it's not supposed to be out until a Friday, and then they don't sell it to you.
Because nobody's paying any fucking attention. They don't get paid enough to pay attention. Trust me.
I'm like, so y'all don't even take a look at your ad? And
Nope.
even if you have to do it for an advertising
No, they don't look
picture,
at the ad because they're following a planogram, dude.
right. But if they're following the planogram, you still could put stuff in the back to the day it comes released, so you actually know what it is. Because technically, if I see your stuff on the floor, technically your store is supposed to sell it to me.
Yeah, but the catch is that with street
There's
date
no
and stuff like that, most of them,
they
they don't actually go into their point of sale system that they can sell it.
Too bad. Their planograms don't have to be done. Shouldn't have to be done until that game releases. Then, or you can change the planogram. You can take a picture because they was talking about that.
Oh,
they
I
can
know.
Take a picture and sell it.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's.
But you're supposed to also recognize in your ad that merchandise that you're not supposed to sell yet, even if it's on a planogram, it's not supposed to be released to the sale date. Because technically, any store that does that, they're supposed to sell it to you. Fine or not.
They won't do it, though, just because they won't take the hit from
then they
the
have
publisher.
they're supposed to be taking all of that stuff off the floor. They're not
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to keep it on the
They
floor.
are.
Like, you kept it for 3 whole days. And I'm surprised no one said anything about it because they're not paying attention. But a person like me, if I see it in your ad and I see it on the floor early, you as a company are supposed to sell it to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent to the whole thing. But so, with that said, I think that's a perfectly good time. Perfectly good place to say break. And we're back. So Eddie brought something up to me yesterday, and we talked a little bit. I really kind of want to deep dive on the subject for the back half of the show today, this week. So Eddie, you want to clue everybody in on what we're talking about?
Okay, so so we all know that our world, Strangers is coming to Switch. Strangelands?
Yeah, Stranger's Wrath.
Stranger's Wrath is coming to Switch. And I was looking at Kind of Funny Games, and they had an interview last year with Lauren Lanning. And he was just saying some crazy things about, or he was just saying his opinion about Nintendo. And regardless of what you got out from it and you looked at it, it became one of the things that he was kind of giving his opinion upon was Nintendo marketing his game. And it felt like, he was upset with Nintendo. They wouldn't market his game well. And I kind of asked Larry, I'm just like, well, who has the right to have their games marketed by any publisher or first party? Like, and is it their responsibility, I should say, to market that game? Like, is it Nintendo's responsibility to market it our world? Is it, or is it Lawrence Landing's reason? And because he was kind of upset that Nintendo wouldn't market his game, so because of that, it doesn't get good sales. But when a game shows up in the Nintendo Direct and stuff, there's a belief that is guaranteed that there's going to have some great sales because it feels like Nintendo's backing it up. So I asked Larry this question, and we got to talking about it, and I know a lot of people say it comes down to money, because I was asking some other people too, and I was just like, well, games that have an exclusive with that company is probably going to get more marketing. Like EA doing a lot of marketing for Xbox One because EA asked this, or Activision getting marketing for Call of Duty with PS4 because Activision and Sony got that deal for like Destiny 2 and probably some of the other games.
A real quick question is,
yes.
Since I don't have one accessible to me, is EA Access available on PS4?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. There was a uh, EA
I
was
just kind
trying
of
to
figured since that's a third party thing that was just across the board.
EA
Huh.
was trying to no, because EA was trying to do something with that on PS4, and PS4 blocked it. They wouldn't allow it, and I think it was because
Oh.
of competing, like like competing sales like PSN and stuff like that. There's a story behind it on why Sony didn't allow it. So that's why a lot of games, when it gets marketing, it's that Xbox One kind of exclusive marketing that they show.
Yeah, Sony's really kind of pigeonholing themselves this generation
Yeah. And,
between that and like the refusal to play nice and allow cross platform with anybody else. It's fucking boggling.
the thing with the Lauren Landon thing from last year about Nintendo not marketing its game was just like, well, Sony didn't market your game. Like, so I think Sony and Microsoft, if it came to their any of the Oddworld games, have never been marketed by first person. And then someone was just like,
Yeah,
well,
they
they
have.
did market. Well, Nintendo kind of put I think that Oddworld game that came to Wii U, they put it. They said for 2 weeks on the front page of the eShop. So what should Nintendo have done? Like, if your game doesn't sell well, it's not the people who markets it, your game. Maybe people don't like that series, or don't like you as a developer. There's many factors, but Nintendo got the kind of the blame for it. So I was just asking, who deserves marketing, and
Well,
whose responsibility is it all? Does it fall at all?
there's a couple things to consider here. One, the Oddworld specifically has actually been touted by platform holders on multiple occasions. It did get some push from Sony back in the PS1 heyday with both Odyssey and Exodus. Additionally, uh, well, it didn't. Well, Microsoft didn't give Stranger's Wrath a big
Uh
push.
huh.
Um, they totally pimped out Abe and Munch for Munch's Odyssey uh, with the launch of the original Xbox. That totally got pushed out there as a big deal. That being said, though, I think we're talking about just a comedy of errors that ensued. One, Munch's Odyssey was the weak link in the entire fucking series. Don't get me wrong, Munch had its high points, but overall, Munch just doesn't hold up compared to the rest of the series. Two, Lorne Lorne really doesn't like Microsoft either, which frankly I think his disdain for Microsoft is far more justified than his issues with Nintendo, which apparently he seems to have put to bed at this point with Stranger's Wrath coming over to Switch. Which I really, first and foremost, I really hope that uh, lets the camel's nose in the tent for the rest of the series to make it to Switch.
But that's if
Um,
people. That's if people still care about Oddworld. Of a big. Of
oh,
there's
they
a
do.
of
I
there's a big
assure you,
one.
there is a monstrously dedicated and sizable fan base for
But
Oddworld
but
and
this is
all
but
things related.
this is the problem. Then is that if there was a big community for the Oddworld series, this conversation shouldn't even be happening, because people should have there should have been more people, or a ton of people, who have bought Oddworld on Wii U, even without Nintendo marketing. So
Here's where you run into the other problem with that,
mhm.
though. Look at Wii U as a platform. Now,
Look at any platform.
I personally bought the shit out of New and Tasty
Hmm.
on Wii U. Despite the fact that, frankly, it was probably from a technical standpoint, it was probably the weakest version of New and Tasty
Hmm.
out of all the platforms that New and Tasty released on. It had some definite technical issues. It didn't stop me from enjoying the game. Which, frankly, the comparison between New and Tasty and Odyssey could totally be its own deep dive subject. But back on point, though, Wii U just didn't have the install base for New and Tasty to really make a big dent
But didn't it
in
also come
anything
on
the way
PS4?
that it did on the others.
Didn't it come up to the other platforms?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so even if it came on the other platforms, why is Nintendo getting it? What happened to the big community? And I guess I'm saying the numbers should have been high, and regardless of marketing or not, that game should have sold well to the community, where Lauren Landing wouldn't have to say anything like this. So, if
The
they,
Wii U, though, is not going to be the go-to platform for most of the people in the Oddworld community, though.
but the thing about it is that even if it's not a go-to game on that platform, is it even a go-to game? Because if no one else is, because if the sale numbers are not doing good on Wii U, the sale numbers are not doing good on PS3. I think by the time that came out, or it's doing, I don't know if it came to 360. If it's not doing on none of those platforms, and not
No,
hearing,
we were on PS4 and Xbox One at that point.
oh, when it came out, okay.
Yeah,
if it's
because
not,
we were talking about the end life cycle of the Wii U.
of the Wii U, okay. If it's not doing good on any other platform, why is Nintendo getting the outrage?
Except it did do well on the other platforms.
And Nintendo promoted it. From what it seems, Nintendo promoted that game for 2 weeks on their eShop.
They did, but again, you're talking about you're putting it up against an almost impossible situation here, because Wii U was the last system to get New and Tasty.
New and Tasty, yeah.
So at that point, most everybody that already wanted it had already bought it on another platform.
And the thing about it is,
additionally,
Microsoft and Sony didn't even promote New and Tasty. They didn't. They didn't promote that.
Right.
So why is Nintendo? So I guess my thing is that's why I said, why is Nintendo getting it when none of the other platforms promoted your stuff, and you're not saying nothing about
because his stuff sold on those other platforms, though.
Basically,
he didn't get the return on investment for the Switch or for the Wii U port that he did with the others, even with Nintendo pumping it on the front page of the Wii U for 2 weeks solid.
Well,
but
wouldn't that be more?
Again, between the fact that the Wii U was basically already, 1.5 feet in the grave, and
wouldn't that been on Lauren Landing's? That would be more on Lauren Landing and his company than it would be on Nintendo, because he's the one that decided to bring it out late for that platform.
I can't confirm, but my suspicion is that in order to get him to commit to bringing New and Tasty to the Wii U, that Nintendo probably put some projected sales numbers in front of him to show him that it would be worth the investment to make that port, and then those numbers fell flat upon delivery. That's my suspicion.
I highly doubt that. I don't know if Nintendo would bring projection sales to a company. Normally, they will do it themselves.
Maybe, but again, too, looking at the Wii U, we're talking about a very different era where they had a very struggling platform, and they were trying to do anything they could to draw people in, and it just wasn't working no matter what they fucking threw at it. But in any case, that I think is really the big crux there. Now, that being said, I am super fucking beyond thrilled over the goddamn moon that Lauren has at least buried the hatchet enough that Oddworld is coming back to Nintendo with Stranger's Wrath on Switch. Like I said, I genuinely hope that it leads to more or the rest of the Oddworld series coming to Switch. And I will tell you flat out, I want New and Tasty on Switch, but I also really want the original Odyssey on Switch as well. I know they're both technically the same game, but visually, in terms of what and how they deliver, they're two very, very different experiences. And again, it's its own deep dive topic. But for me personally, there's enough differential between the two, and I genuinely believe that the original PlayStation 1 iteration of Odyssey holds up well enough that I would totally buy that as well as rebuying New and Tasty on my Switch. I start bundling shit. Like, give me, give me a cartridge that has Odyssey and New and Tasty on it, and then when Soulstorm finally fucking comes out, I want a cartridge with Soulstorm and Exodus on it. That would be awesome. Also, I'm going to need some physical versions of Stranger's Wrath.
The series to do what it's supposed to do. Bring out the 5 main games and be done with it.
Oh yeah, no, I totally want to see the rest of what he has rattling around in his brain for the rest of those characters.
All of this was supposed to be all done on the PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree, but like I said, I would love to see what other parts of that world he wants, he had intentions of exploring. So, because really, technically, we only got 3 of the 5 games.
Yeah.
Because Exodus was not a mainline Oddworld game. It was.
Was it like
Exodus
a
was.
Of the first
No,
one?
Exodus was a follow-up story to Odyssey because the intent originally was that there would be 5 games featuring 5 different characters across 5 different parts of Oddworld.
Mm-hmm.
All disparate and unconnected by anything other than the planet that they all reside on, which is Oddworld. And so Abe's Odyssey was the first of 5. Abe's Exodus was not a mainline. It was instead a follow-up, much the way like Final Fantasy X-2 isn't a mainline Final Fantasy game, but it is a follow-up to Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
That's probably the best comparison that I can make to try and explain it. Past that, we had Munch's Odyssey, which was the introduction of the adorable little Munch feller. So that's actually the second of the Oddworld mainline games, which did also feature Abe as well. So there was some connection back to the character from the first couple of stories that he told. And then we got Stranger's Wrath, which totally jumped away from Abe, Munch, and everything else that we've known in Oddworld so far and went somewhere completely different with the brand new character, Stranger. And so that leaves us with 2 to go. But right now, apparently the big draw is retelling of Odyssey and Exodus by way of New and Tasty and the forthcoming Soulstorm.
Well, this is my concern with just the Oddworld series in general. As I think people have moved away from it, and it's becoming a forgotten gem in some people's eyes. I mean, it's great that Stranger's Wrath is getting re-released on Switch. That's great and all. But I think
that could do a lot to help it along too.
But that depends on. I think it's too late because it's such a modern era of new players that there might be some adults who would still get it, but if you're trying to get some of the people who kind of have moved away from that style of gaming, you're going to have a hard time getting a lot of people back into the series to play it.
I don't think so. I think introducing Stranger's Wrath to a new generation, as well as a huge sect of gamers that maybe never got to play it originally, is going to be a great boon for the series. I think that between that, the upcoming Soulstorm, I think if both of those make their way to Switch, which I can't imagine Soulstorm coming to Switch without New and Tasty coming forward from the Wii U to the Switch as well. But that being said, I think it's a great idea for them to do it because it gives new gamers that weren't around for the birth and heyday of the Oddworld series a reasonable entry point back into it to drum up the interest to have them go, we want more of this, so that once Soulstorm is done, we're not looking at another remake of, Munch's Odyssey would be next technically, but even then, I can't see Munch getting remade the way that the Abe games are getting remade. But in any case, I think that the two remakes with New and Tasty and Soulstorm and re-releasing Stranger's Wrath is a beautiful way to say that we have a tremendously huge, diverse universe for you to, explore, and we're going to allow you to explore it in these very different ways where, the Abe games were, a 2D side-scroll puzzle platformer, and Stranger's Wrath was a fucking first-person shooter. The fact that they can make both of those very well leads me to the question and the want to know what else he could do or wants to do gameplay-wise to tell those other stories.
I don't think... But this is the problem with Lauren and Landy for me, is that what is taking you long to tell this complete story? If things are, because it just feels like things are being made up on the fly. Like if your plan was to do a 5-part series, you should at least have this all out. And I just don't think he has anything as the series figured out yet. And I can understand that if the times has changed and you want to go in and change the story, that's completely fine. But I just feel like he's making stuff up on the fly. Yes, you got 3 good games, or you got 3 games and like some remakes and follow-ups. But like I said, this story should be told. And how are you going to market this to this new generation of gamers? Because all of this shouldn't fall on Nintendo when none of it never falls on the other companies. If you are so concerned about marketing for this game, he needs to step up to the plate and he needs to do the work for the marketing. Because guess what? When .emu starts marketing the games or Limited Run or Nicholas or Yacht Club and all these other developers promote their stuff and market their stuff, they constantly do it, and they will walk out and tell everybody all about this. So why is Lauren Landy not doing the same thing or willing to take the same steps? Or
I think he is. I imagine he is and will with the Switch because again, we're in a very different place now with Nintendo than we were when New and Tasty was coming to the Wii U, and so I think he's looking at it. If I was him, anyways, I would be looking at it going, all right, I'm on board to do the marketing push myself. That's great because at this point, damn near anything that is already established in any way, shape, or form that says, hey, guess what? We're coming to Switch. That announcement alone tends to get you a lot of free fucking press and marketing all by itself.
So he shouldn't
which
fight.
Makes the thing easier from the get-go.
And my thing would be for him would be, don't try to get this in the Nintendo Direct. Do this marketing on your own, so you can have control. So you can have control over what you want to say. Because, like the way that we found out, like Lauren Lanning didn't say that the game, like Our World, Stranger's Wrath, was coming to Switch. He could have marketed that and announced that in his own way before we found out that that game is going to be showing up at a convention and going to be playable. Lauren Landy could have did the marketing for that, and he should have.
No, he made the announcement.
He didn't make the announcement.
That's where I saw it was on his or was on the Oddworld Facebook actually.
The way that game got announced was it was showing up. From the way that I see it, Nintendo Life had announced that the game was going to be coming to Switch because it was going to be playable at a conference. And then whatever happened after that, I guess that's when Lauren Landing wanted to do some kind of announcement. Like throw the Xbox game on the Switch. Like that
Right.
announcement should have happened way before Nintendo Life reported it that it was going to be playable at a convention.
Well, if
Lauren
that's
Landon,
the case, then I imagine that he basically had to react to the fact that somebody sleuthed him out versus what was probably a planned reveal at that convention or reveal an announcement from that
well,
convention.
he had everything set up and it was shown. So it wasn't a planned announcement. He literally have it there running for people to see, not knowing that he didn't say nothing about it. If he would have said something about it before it got revealed that way, I could understand that. But they was probably building it or getting the games ready, and it was running for anyone to come and see it and tweet it and say something about it and report it.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually hadn't caught that, but I mean, if that's the case, I don't know. You got me stumped on that one.
So that's why I when I called you and asked that question, it's just like, whose responsibility is it to market games?
Hmm. To which my answer was as follows. It depends on who has the power in the relationship. If you're a small, new studio putting out your first game and you're bringing it to Switch, then really Nintendo, the platform holder holds all the cards at that point where you're going to end up, if you're that developer, you're going to end up, trying to scrape up enough cash to get an agreement with Nintendo for them to do marketing on your game coming to their platform. Whereas if you flip that around
Mm-hmm.
and you're a major, developer slash publisher and you want to bring your game over to Switch, if you have that draw power, like as an example, let's say Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
has the draw power where Epic, could have looked at Nintendo and said, "Hey, we're bringing your game to Switch, but here's our condition. You got to pour X amount of dollars into marketing for us." And I could see Nintendo potentially folding on that one, going, "Fuck it, it's too good of a get not to suck their dick on that one."
Well, because Nintendo has seen the good press and the sale numbers that it's doing, so yeah, they will invest it because they see the return that has came on that game, and Nintendo pretty much Nintendo sometimes take a gamble, but now that social media is happening, you know, indie developers and some publishers and developers, they could cut their own trailer, put it out on YouTube, Google Play, or they could put it out anywhere that they want to for probably for less money or for free. Like if they tweet it out on social media, like on Twitter or Facebook or anything, that's free press for them, and people would get excited in this age, I should say. And
Yeah.
they wouldn't need uh anybody's backing. But if Nintendo see a game that really has promise and stuff, and they come up to them and be like, "Hey, and like we are very interested in your game. We would like to have it in Nintendo Direct." Some people will feel honored for that. You know.
No, I don't disagree. But like I said, I think it all comes down to power differential.
Yeah.
So, but I think we've rambled enough unless there's anything else you want to hit on before we wrap this bitch up.
Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know Tokyo Game Show happened, but I didn't really take notes for that. So if anybody want to watch that, it is on YouTube. That's the PlayStation lineup tour. They talked about some new releases that's coming in Japan, and you can see it. They have everything translated in English. So if you want to see that, because I think this week is Tokyo Game Show. So if anybody wants to see that, they can.
Right on.
And then get ready for more Cavalcade of games that's supposed to be coming this month and next month.
Yep. So I think we'll wrap it there then. Just like we mentioned at the beginning of the show here, you can find us as always at our home on shoutengine.com, where you can plunk us into your RSS feed on your web browser on your phone there. Alternatively, you can always find us as well on your favorite smartphone podcast distribution centers like iTunes and Google Play Music. Again, we appreciate the reviews and the ratings where available and applicable. Also, you can always hit us up and talk to us on our Facebook page, World11 Podcast, or on our Twitter, World1_1 Podcast. Other than that,
One more thing, Larry. Just to
yeah,
let everybody know that Nobu Umatsu, he's one of the designers of Final Fantasy VII in the series. He's suspending all his creative works so he could focus on his illness. So we don't know anything further than that, but they just announced it a little while back at the time of this recording. So hopefully he's getting he gets better and be able to return his work and be making some great games for Square Enix.
agreed. Best well wishes to him. So, but yeah, that's it. Just a side note too, like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't jumped into the NBC Video Game Book Club on Facebook, come join the group. We're playing Hollow Knight for this month's Game of the Month. The drawing for the free copy of Hollow Knight has ended, but make sure you join us so that way you can get in on the drawing for next month's game giveaway as well. And I think that's it. So remember, you can check us out at our new time, our new day on Fridays going forward now every week. If you guys want, I mean, if somebody starts speaking up and says, hey, we'd like this to be a thing, we can start putting up pre-recording posts. If you guys have questions, things you'd love to hear us rant on the show, we could do that too. I haven't heard a whole lot of call for it, but I mean, if I find out it's something that you guys want, I will totally fucking do that. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, then, everybody, we will see you next time on World 11 Podcast. Bye.
Peace.